don't love us, no they don't love us. They don't love us, no they don't love us. They don't love us, no they don't love us. They don't love us. Somebody tell them wake up, wake up, wake up. Somebody tell them wake up, wake up, wake up. Somebody tell them wake up. They don't love us, no they don't love us. They don't love us, no they don't love us. They don't love us, no they don't love us. They don't love us. Somebody tell them wake up, wake up, wake up.
So I'll praise to the Most High. Blessed to be able to be on once again with you all. Escaping the Plantation 2.0. Yes, sir. We got a good show for y'all tonight, man. Critical race theory. Haters of truth. Critical race theory, haters of truth. Okay, so this critical race theory thing has been going on. Before that, we had the 1619 Project that basically all the Republicans were against, right? Now, what's funny is this, because white people that claim to be Republican fight for the Confederate flag to stay intact. But they lost that war. But they want you and I to think that it's something that it should be honored, or it's their heritage. So your heritage is losing? Huh? I'm trying to figure something out. It ain't working. My brain don't work like that. I need you to, give me something logical to think on. Rationality, all right? So with that being said, now we have what's called critical race theory. And we're going to get into exactly what it is. We're going to dive into it today. It's something that is causing issues amongst not only Esau, but Jake as well. And when I say Jake, I mean these Jakes that love America, that love this place, don't want to make white people feel uncomfortable, don't want to make them feel, why would you feel uncomfortable why would you feel uncomfortable and your ancestors had mine in slavery? Shouldn't I feel uncomfortable? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like when you look at them, think about it, we grew up two different ways. Well, they grew up thinking that they were superior. Even if you can say, I don't have a racist bone in my body, you still went through your life knowing I'm white, my ancestors built this country, my ancestors wrote the Constitution, my ancestors were the first presidents, this my country. But we grew up thinking, this place hate us. My family was slaves. My granddaddy was a sharecropper. My great-granddaddy was a slave. That's what we grew up thinking and knowing subconsciously. Right? So, with that being said, I'm Captain Gedaliah. To my right.
Officer Ferris.
And to our left.
Soldier John.
I'll praise to the Most High God. So, this is going to be a good show today, Lord's will. I pray y'all get something out of it. So, we already about 20 minutes behind, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Give me Psalm 71.
The book of Psalms, chapter 71 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Incline thine ear unto me, and save me.
So we ask the Lord to deliver us in his righteousness and cause us to escape. We got to escape the mindset of the Negro. We have a mindset, right? We good? I got something in my head. Well, thank you, brother. You all right. Or is that gray hair? I can't help it, man. That's wisdom right there, man.
That's right.
So all praise to the Most High. But yeah, so we asking the Lord to save us even from the mindset that we have and that our people have, that we see going throughout the earth today. Because our brothers and sisters out here, man, we lost. We just be real. We lost. We out here thinking all manners of evil and thinking that it's reality, and it's not. All right, so let's move on. Let's jump into, give me the definition of critical race theory. It's one of the first things I posted, the definition of critical race theory. Let's see exactly what it is. Play that for me, or read that for me, excuse me.
Critical race theory. Critical race theory is a body of legal scholarship and academic movement of civil rights scholars and activists in the United States who seek to critically examine the intersection of race and U.S. law and to challenge mainstream American liberal approaches to racial justice.
So, and when you think about this, when you really just examine this, this is basically forcing people to own up to what has been done and how this country has systematically kept black people down. You can, listen, I'm going to show you some videos today going to make you mad. You're going to see some of our brothers say stupid things like, oh, I am a doctor now, so how was I held back? You know how they do. They got to put on that accent. They got to put on that voice. Oh, well, Well, white people never threw me in jail. It was me. I did. Yeah, you're right. You did do something stupid. But how many of our brothers in jail that don't deserve to be there?
Bring it out.
'Cause there's a ton of them, millions even, that are in jail. Like, I'll give you an example. The Central Park Five. Was that a real thing? That's a true story. These young men were in prison from a young age. One of them, I forget his name, the main character when you watch the movie or the autobiography, he was in jail for majority of his adolescent life on until he became an adult. And he was jacked up behind that. What's the young boy that got put in Rikers Island? Jay-Z did a documentary on him. Let me look it up real quick. Look that up for me real quick. The young boy that was put in Rikers Island, Jay-Z did a documentary on him. I forget his name. I don't want to butcher his name because the brother died. I think he killed himself. But there are examples. There's millions of examples. We're not saying everybody that's in prison didn't do nothing to deserve to be there. But majority of the brothers that's in there, they don't have crimes that constitute the sentence that they had. What is his name? Khalif? Yeah, Khalif Browder. That was his name, the Khalif Browder story. That brother killed himself. He had been in jail. They was raping him. Here you go, right here. Khalif Browder was a black youth from the Bronx, New York, who was held at Rikers Island Jail Complex without trial between 2010 and 2013 for allegedly stealing a backpack containing valuables. During his imprisonment, Browder was in solitary confinement for 2 years. 2 years, right? Go down. Yeah, you read that second paragraph.
2 years after his release, Browder hanged himself at his parents' home.
You hit it? You just made me mad, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how you black and you ain't got compassion for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go 0 to 100. How you black and you don't have no compassion for this? How you see this happen to your brothers and you ain't got no compassion? Like, don't they make you mad? Like, they make me mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should make any black, give me Ecclesiastes. When you see stuff like this, it's supposed to make you angry. And not angry to the point that you want to harm someone. Because the random Edomite walking down the street, why would you harm him for something that his ancestors are doing? Yeah, he a part of the system, but you ain't gonna get them back by harming him. You gotta tear the whole system down with the word of God. You have to keep God's commandments so that he'll send his son to redeem us.
That's right.
Ecclesiastes 7:7.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So oppression, if you got any type of wisdom whatsoever, my goodness, if you just have a brain, if you got eyes, if you have compassion, if you got a heart, and you love your people, you can't look at stuff like this and not be angry. Read it again.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
That proves that your black intellectuals, that your pastors, your Muslims, all these brothers that claim to have, that be quote unquote woke, these sisters that claim to be quote unquote woke, yo behind still sleep. Oppression is supposed to make you angry when you see it. Go ahead.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
That's you, I'm a doctor now, so I'm not oppressed. Oh, wait, hold. Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and the white man hung him on a tree and pierced his hands and feet. This is the Son of God, the King of Kings. He did miracles. People saw his miracles. Pontius Pilate said, I don't want nothing to do with this righteous man, this innocent man. His wife said, look, don't mess with him. I had a dream about him. Stay away from him, right? And the black folks, the Jews, the same coons that you see coming up here today, right, were the same ones that influenced the so-called white man to put our brother, our king, to death. Same thing. So, critical race theory is the idea that there's a system in place that does destroy and systematically oppresses black people, right? And that racial injustice must be called out, and the evils that have been done to black people in America must be exposed and talked about in the school system. White folks say, hell no. I ain't sending my kids to school to learn about what my ancestors did to you niggas. That's what it is. You get mad all you want. That's what it is. Now, give me John 8:32. And jump in, Austin. You got anything, jump in throughout the class, brother. Give me John 8:32, because they got a problem with the critical race theory, which is basically exposing the racial injustice that has happened to our people here. So let's see what Christ said. Read.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
The Bible says, this is Jesus Christ speaking, by the way, a black man, afro like mine.
That's
Bible
right.
says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. This is what so-called white man has never been able to do. He's never been able to tell the truth. Christ said, when you learn the truth, Israelites, it's going to make you free. Free from what? Free from your mental bondage. Because when the truth is uncovered about the atrocities that have happened to our people, it makes you search, okay, why did this happen? And nowadays, with the information age we're living in, you start searching, why did black people go in slavery? And bam, they go Israel united in Christ. They go brothers, because the other brothers, we ain't the only ones that teach the truth. We got other brothers out here that teach the truth. They teach we Israel. We ain't against them. Do your thing, bro. Christ is preached. You feel me? Because I think they think that, like, oh, they against us. We ain't against you. We don't agree with some of the things you teach, but you out here teaching Christ. You out here teaching that, hey, we the Israelites, we ain't gonna come up on your corner and go against you. We don't do that. We don't camp bang. You understand? We sit back and let brothers do what Christ put them on earth to do. You do your thing, we're gonna do ours. But there are brothers out here that's teaching the truth. That's how our people gonna be made free. So when they teach the truth, on top of the atrocities that are being uncovered, like Lake Lanier, like the Tulsa race massacre, it wasn't no damn race riot, it was a massacre. They still finding bodies to this day. So when we uncover these things, God send your spirit and say, oh, the people that's woke, the people that God want to get it, he say, go read Deuteronomy 28. Brothers, click that video right there on the side that's with them brothers in purple and go, click that video right there. And you say, let me see what these brothers talking about. Click. Then you start, oh, wait a minute. We the Israelites. We the children of God. That's why we went through slavery. That's what it's supposed to uncover. Revelation chapter 3. Read verse 18 for me.
The book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold, tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
Many of sin. We want to get to a point to where we understand these scriptures and we follow them so that our nakedness won't appear. So we can cover up our sins by doing what? Keeping God's commandments. Right? Go ahead.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve.
So it said, anoint thine eyes with eye salve. For what?
That thou mayest see.
That thou mayest see. Give me Bible study tools, or Bible Hub, excuse me. It's 2 links I showed you. They were the 2 second things I put up there. It was 2 links. One was Bible Hub on Revelation chapter 3 and verse 18. What is eye salve? Go down. All right. So eye salve. So let's read the definition to the far left, the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, see what it says. Or read the first one, Webster Revised Unabridged Dictionary.
Yes, sir. Webster's Revised Unabridged Dictionaries. Eye salve, ointment for the eye.
Ointment for the eye. Go down. International Standard Bible Encyclopedia. Let's read that.
International Standard Bible Encyclopedia. Eye salve, a Phrygian powder mentioned by Gallatin, for which the medical school of Laodicea seems to have been famous. See Ramsey, the letters to the 7 churches of Asia. But the figurative reference is to the restoring of spiritual vision.
You hear this? Christ on point. It's the restoring of spiritual vision. Meaning what? So you can see the evils that's going on around you. You understand, we the children of God. All this stuff right here is lies. Christianity is lies. Islam is lies. All that stuff is to deter us away from God's commandments, knowing we the children of God. These are all things put in place to destroy us. So guess what the hatred for critical race theory is? The same thing. Guess what the demolishing of the 1619 project, guess what that is? It's to keep your spiritual vision away. Because if you start looking at the things that happen to your people and then you start reading Deuteronomy 28 and the rest of the Bible, you say, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. Them people over there in Israel ain't going on no slave ships. Them people over there in Israel ain't picked no damn cotton. Them people over there in Israel wasn't forced to watch their sons and daughters beaten. They ain't have to have that happen to them. They weren't sold on auction blocks to the highest bidder. Families ripped apart. Then after slavery was so-called abolished, had laws put in place to keep them in slavery. Hell, the Israelis are the ones that insured the slave ship. And started changing their name to Spanish, French, and German names to hide the fact that they were really Amalek. Look it up. Tell us we wrong. We got the books written by white people that say the same thing. That's what they did to cover up their tracks. But there is a God in heaven, and he black, and you ain't getting away with nothing.
That's
You
right.
black folks that want to, I'm woke, I understand. Critical race theory, it's a racist theory. How is it racist to uncover the lies that have been done to our people? How is it racist to expose mass incarceration? How is it racist to expose medical apartheid? How is it racist to expose the International Council of Churches? Or the IMF, International Monetary Fund, you tell a country your dollar ain't worth nothing. How is that racist to uncover the evils that's going on the earth today and who doing it? That's what you're supposed to do. If you believe in Christ, Christ uncovered evil. Christ saw evil, he spoke out on it. But these Christians say they believe in Christ, but when they see evil, they, don't say nothing, master take away your job now. Buck broke, that's what they hear, buck broke. Don't want to say nothing.
Super coon, Negro in training.
Go back to the ISOL. No, give me, it was another scripture I want. Oh, Ephesians 1:17. You had something you want to say? I'll go ahead. Okay. Ephesians 1:17.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 1 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation.
And revelation, read.
In the knowledge of him.
God wants you to know him. He ain't playing. You Negroes in the Christian church, you don't know God. You've never learned God in your whole life. I don't care how long you've been in church, how long your mama been in church, your granddaddy been in church. I don't care about your granddaddy being no pastor, no 40 years. He don't know the Bible. He don't know the scriptures. The Lord says, through the Apostle Paul, Christ said that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom. That's what we just said. That's what Christ just said in Revelation 3:18. Anoint thine eyes with eye salve that thou mayest see. Meaning what? The restoration or the restoring of your spiritual vision. So you can see clearly. We oppress. We
That's
the children
right.
of God. We the Israelites. This so-called white man, Esau, according to the Bible, is the son of perdition. He the man of perdition. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Read.
The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
See, the same thing Christ said. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened. Meaning what? You can see. But when they want to take away critical race theory, it's to try to deprive you of what happened to your own ancestors, which entail will make you continue to look at the Bible as a religious book, a fairy tale full of just fables and parables and fairy tales. Nothing to be taken literal. Negroes come on stage on Clubhouse, say it all the time. Oh, the Bible is not meant to be taken literal. What? God said thou shalt not kill. They killing in the black community? Oh, so they wanted to be taken literal. God said don't eat shrimp, crab, crawfish, lobster, snail. Because that's what you eating when you eat what that thing called? Escargot. That's a snail. That's a slimy insect. Hey, bro, you know people would eat raccoons in Mississippi. We've seen it. We done been at camp. Look at him. He said he used to. We used to be at camp, and Esau come pull up to the store. We teaching that and sell raccoon. And the brothers and sisters that be listening to the word will leave the word and go buy a raccoon.
Who raised you?
And you like, what the hell? Some of them raccoons look like they've been ran over. They flat. I said, what did they do? Did they run that over? Are you about to eat roadkill? What the hell wrong with you? So God said, listen, the eyes of your understanding have to be enlightened. Go ahead.
That ye may know what is the hope of his calling.
Uh-huh.
And what the riches of his glory, of his inheritance in the saints.
How you gonna know the riches of God's glory and his inheritance in his saints? You his saints. You blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians, those of you that have been scattered throughout the diaspora, right? You slaves in all lands. You the children of God. We got people in India and they do not look like me. They do not look like him. They look like East Indians, but they Israelites. You be amongst a race of people for 400 years and watch how you start to take on their attributes and how they look. Go from there. Go to Revelation 16, verse 10. They want to keep you in the dark. They don't want you to see clearly. They start going against critical race theory because they don't want you to see clearly. Read it, guy.
The book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 10.
Read it out.
And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
This is the seat of the beast right here. Read.
And his kingdom was full of darkness.
You hit it, and the kingdom is full of darkness. This kingdom here is the kingdom full of darkness. Deacon Athon went through it so eloquently last Sabbath. I'm about to go back and watch that class tonight. This is mystery Babylon the Great. The mystery of iniquity doth already work. This place full of darkness. They hide, they don't want you to see. They want to hide your eyes so you cannot see the truth. But the Most High put his prophets back on the earth to give y'all the truth in these last days.
That's
How
right.
we know that this place is dark, full of darkness? Give me the TikTok video real quick of the police. You want to say something? Go ahead.
I was going to bring out, give me Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Because our people that have wisdom of this world, they teach the doctrine of America. Mm-hmm. They teach the doctrines of the world. They'll go and learn what they, what they're supposed to be learning because what you just read where it said, we are the inherited of Christ, right? So guess what? People that inherit something, guess what? We inherit laws. But our people do not learn those things and go and teach their people in the community. But they go and learn the philosophy. Read that. This is what they learn.
The book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Come on.
Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So it said, beware lest any man spoil you, meaning destroy you through philosophy and vain deceit. Because our pastors, our doctors, our lawyers, they're supposed to be learning the commandments of God and teaching their people and building them up. Another thing they're supposed to be teaching is where we come from. That's the first thing we're supposed to be learning as children. What is our inheritance? How did we get where we are today?
Right.
Finish that up.
After the tradition of men.
You see that? It said after the traditions of men. Their customs, their holidays. You go up into grocery stores right now, you see them putting Halloween things out.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
Already.
I'm like, already. Read on.
After the rudiments of the world.
It says after the foundation. That's what it is, the foundations of the world. Read.
And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. They are not teaching after Christ. They are not teaching that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they are the true Israelites according to the Bible.
That's
they're not
right.
showing our people those things. But what they're showing us, they're showing us that, guess what? You're servants still today.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You done?
But yeah, you go ahead.
All right, so look, I don't want to lose my point on this video because I want to get too far away from it. Good script, boss. So Revelation 16 and 10 said that this kingdom is full of darkness, right? Let me show you how this kingdom is full of darkness. Let's pull up this video, how the police track you. Pull this up.
It's done on foot. A lot of people, because a lot of drug-dependent people will walk up to a house or to a car and buy drugs. So the thing I want to do is, where do these people go the most? So I use the pass.
The pass.
And right then and there, I have my drug deals in seconds, because there's the frequency meter right there, and I can see the pass. So these two houses were in concert, and we did search warrants on these later. But I also want to know, just for my own edification, how many people just go to that little door, like right there? Every day. How many people go into that intersection? And at this time, because I went a little higher, it's 400 because they cross underneath here too. So you can see every one of these people walking, and all these people are going, and the car gets in, are going right to that. Look at that. Does that look like a regular house deal, or does that look like a drug market? It's a drug market. How long did that take me to do? That took me a minute. Drug trafficking, a lot of it's done on foot. A lot of people.
So, now this in the hood. You ain't got this in the white neighborhoods. They ain't got cameras and meters set up to see the frequency of where people going. That was set up for black people. But you gonna tell me racism ain't real. Now, selling drugs is wrong. We don't agree with it. Doing drugs is wrong. We don't agree with it. But why have that to set people up? Why not just say, hey, look, y'all stop selling drugs. We watching y'all. You go to jail. Put that stuff away. Don't do it no more. We're watching you. They don't even tell them they being watched. You understand? And then how does the drugs get into the community? How they get their drugs into their house? And how long do they sit there and watch them knowing that these people, but they want the big fish? They'll sit back and they'll just let you do that for 4 years, 5 years, stack your cheese, stunt on Facebook, stunt on Instagram. Many of you Negroes too stupid to realize it. You throwing the money around, you buying the newest Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Porsches. That new Corvette like a damn Ferrari. I seen it today. So they got people riding around here looking like they in a Ferrari for 60 or 70,000. You know the dope boys going to buy them cars. And they sit back just watching you sell your dope. But wait a minute. The Bible says a man, if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, he's supposed to utter it. You're supposed to say, hey, man, that's sin what you're doing. Y'all need to stop doing that. But he ain't going to do that because he'll make money off of your sons and your daughters in the prison industrial complex. He make money off of your children. Mass incarceration, he make money off your children. So his kingdom is full of darkness. But you're going to tell me we can't teach about critical race theory. We can't teach about the 1619 project. You know why they don't want you to teach about that? Because they still doing the same tactics to you today. And if you uncover what they did to you then, it'll make you think logically like, damn, they still doing the same thing now. Let me change. Let me repent. And then they can't make no more money off of you. Now give me Psalms 10 and 8. Let me show you what the Bible says regarding what we just saw. It's biblical. Psalms chapter 10. Read verse 8.
Psalm chapter 10 and verse 8. He sitteth in lurking places of the villages.
Wait a minute. What did he do?
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
The he is going into Esau, right? So-called white man. He sit in the lurking places of the villages. That's why sometimes you'll just see a cop car just parked perfectly positioned at one angle on the street. And you won't even notice they there. Or what they call stakeouts, where they'll sit in their car and just watch the crime go on. They'll just sit back just like this. Say, look at this nigga. We've been watching this Negro 6 months. He don't even know it. We've been sitting here in the same car. He don't know. He don't even realize we sitting right here. Sit in the lurking places. What? Go ahead.
In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent.
In the secret places, in the alleyways, behind these crack houses, these abandoned buildings, they murder the innocent. Some of these people ain't do nothing warranted of going to prison or being killed, but they do it. Did not George Zimmerman kill Trayvon Martin as he was coming back from the store? He caught him in like a little alleyway. It was like it wasn't quite as open. It was like a corridor. You understand? Like a sidewalk area. Did he not catch him? Did he not sit back and watch that brother? Call the police on him and everything. Then what? Murdered him. Dude wasn't even a police officer. Neighborhood watch. Damn. Go ahead.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
He has eyes privily set against the poor. Pull the video back up. Because they say we racist. They say we just hate and we got a hate group. But we ain't never did this. We ain't never set on no camera to watch you. Watch you destroy yourself. They see that watching them destroy themselves. They ain't doing nothing about it. Just waiting to put them all in prison. And they ain't going to put the people that's buying the drugs in prison. They going to put the dope boy in prison. So guess what's going to happen? Them people that's on the drugs that they're not letting them know they're children of Israel, that they're not getting rehab for, guess what them people going to do? They going to go get their drug from somebody else. Another brother going to rise up. And he going to be the dope boy in the city or in the community for 6-7 years maybe, if they let him go that long. Build up a name for himself, get close ties with the connect. You understand? Then the elders, the OGs will sell him out, say, hey, take him out. That's what they do. You know that, right? Many of these OGs of the gang, or these gangs, your OG, you calling your OG that you say you'll die for, many of them Negroes in with the police. And what they do is, every 3 or 4 years, they give 3 or 4 of their young men to the police. That's how you get busted. You're so stupid. That's how you get busted. Your OG give you up. Because he know the DA, and he know many people here, and they saying, look, bro, we going to bust your ass. You supposed to give me 3, 4 of your young recruits every 2-3 years. We had a deal. I ain't had a young recruit in a while. So now he perplexed. He like, damn, I'm going to have to give up my young boy. And he give him up, and then he go out and recruit some more young boys. Happen every time. Y'all just too stupid to see it. Y'all ain't thinking. Go ahead. Verse 9. Verse 9.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Damn.
He lieth in wait to catch the poor.
He lie in wait to catch the poor. On that video, we just saw that. He was lying in wait to catch the poor. Play it again. Play it again. Let's do what he said.
People will walk up to a house or to a car and buy drugs. So the thing I want to do is, where do these people go the most? So I use the pass.
The pass.
And right then and there, I have my drug deals in seconds, because there's the frequency meter right there, and I can see the pass. So these two houses were in concert, and we did search warrants on these later. But I also want to know, just for my own edification, how many people just go to that little door, like right there? every day. How many people go into that intersection? And at this time, because I went a little higher, it's 400 because they cross underneath here too. So you can see every one of these people walking, and all these people are going, and the car gets are going right to that. Look at that. Does that look like a regular house deal, or does that look like a drug market? It's a drug market. How long did that take me to do? That took me a minute. Drug trafficking.
He bragging about how advanced the technology is to catch your sons and your daughters. Did you read that again? Read verse 9 again.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor.
Read.
He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
What is a net? Excuse me. A net is a trap. He drawing you into his trap. You don't even see it, but he doing it. But does that happen in the so-called white man community? I have never seen that happen in the Arabs community or in the Jewish community in New York, where black people can't even walk around and they say, hey, man, what you doing here? You ain't supposed to be here. This is only for Jewish people. But then we want to start something for us. We say, hey, look, the Bible only for us. They say, man, what the hell? You can't do that. That's racist. But the Jewish man can have his own community in New York that you and I can't even go in. Come on, man. So the Bible says, he doth catch the poor when he draweth them into his net. Now, go from there. Go to Leo Terry attack on white children. Excuse me, yeah, Leo Terrell. Leo Terrell is a civil rights lawyer, right? When you think of civil rights lawyer, you think about somebody trying to help black people, right? Watch this brother. This brother is a former school teacher. I think social studies, so on and so forth, political science, whatever. Also, he is now is this it? This is what I wanted? Leo Terrell? Okay, all right. So the brother's a civil rights lawyer now. Now watch what he says. Play this.
Leo Terrell is a former public school teacher. He's also a civil rights attorney and Fox News contributor, and he joins me now. Leo, always good to see you. Thank you for being here today. So the Department of Education now says that the link was put into this document, which, as Aisha said, is an important document because it's going to be helping all of these schools reopen, and it's telling them what materials they should rely on. They say the link to this group was in error. Do you believe that?
No, it doesn't pass the smell test. The only reason why they're claiming that right now is because of the Fox News reporting. Let's be very clear. That type of mistake doesn't get in there. They're backtracking. I don't believe it, Martha, at all.
Yeah. You know, when you take a look at what's in here, and they do encourage, as part of this in a general sense in this Department of Education document, race and social emotional learning. And these are the sorts of materials in a broad sense that absolutely fall into that category. And they talk about, and this woman, Bettina Love, who was in this now deleted link, talks about spirit murdering that is done by schools for black and brown students. What would be your definition of that, and what do you think about that?
Let me just tell you right now, this is another way of defining critical race theory. And I'm telling every parent who's watching this program, you got to look at the lesson plans, you got to look at the stated objectives, and you got to look at the curriculum. Because I'm telling you, this is a backdoor way of the Biden administration of trying to get critical race theory, some type of propaganda, indoctrination into the public school system. And that's my teaching hat. As a civil rights attorney, this attack against white children and white teachers have to be met with a lawsuit. This is a violation of the equal protection. To assume that white people are racist, white children are racist in public schools, parents around the country got to file lawsuits on this. We got to stop this.
See, this is what we don't think about when people say horrendous things like that. The stupid, idiotic. He got too much education to be so dumb. There's no way that you pay attention. You got to pay attention. Millions of people are seeing this broadcast. This is how Esau pushes his message. He gets the token coon to go on television in front of millions of viewers and say, oh, the parents, we need to file lawsuits. The parents need to go into the schools and look at the curriculum and look at what's being taught. This is an attack on white kids. This is an attack on white children. When has one of those white kids or white children been slammed on their neck by a police officer in the 6th grade because the teacher called the police saying that the child was acting up? Have we not seen that happen in the last couple of years? No. When did one of these little white children get killed for playing with a toy gun, like Tamir Rice? I'm still trying to fathom this. Or when one of these Edomite white teachers on their way home get pulled over by the police with their wife and their daughter in the back seat, and reach for their wallet and get killed, like Philando Castile. Which one of these so-called white teachers get put to death in the prison, laying on their back, and somebody stand on top of them and take a picture with their eyes open to make it seem like they're alive and they're really dead, like Sandra Bland? I'm still trying to fathom this, because my mind, you know the way my mind work is, show me the evidence. Show me the evidence of blatant racism against white kids and white teachers. How is it an attack on them? Show me evidence of a little black boy hearing about his family going on slave ships, and he taking a cell phone or something and whacking the little white kid upside the head next to him because he heard that. We've been watching slave movies since the beginning. Nope. Tell you what it is. The Israelites out here teaching. We starting to put the Bible together with what has happened to us in this country, and it goes so perfectly together. So now they say this attack on us. Don't think that this is just an attack on critical race theory. No. If you let them teach about slavery and oppression and systematic racism in the schools, them folks gonna start watching them Israelites, and they gonna get bigger, and Christ gonna come and take away our kingdom. So stop it right now. Tell them it ain't no such thing as no critical race theory. Tell them ain't no such thing as racism. It's an attack on white kids. It's an attack on white teachers. This is a lawsuit ready to happen. That's all propaganda. Now give me Isaiah 13, verse 1. Let me show you what's happening. I'm gonna show you exactly what's happening. This is horrendous. This is blasphemy. Oh my God. Watch this.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see.
It says the burden of Babylon, the burden of Babylon. Now you know it ain't talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about this Babylon, Babylon the Great. You got to be spiritual to understand that. You got to have your spiritual vision restored to understand that. Just use wisdom. Was the ancient Babylon burned with fire? Read verse 5 just so they won't think we crazy.
Verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
So wait a minute. Was the whole land of Babylon destroyed, or did the Persians and Medes take it and occupy it? They took it and occupied it. It wasn't destroyed. The whole land was not destroyed. The Babylonians fell, and the Persians and Medes rose up in their stead. So you know this ain't talking about ancient Babylon. This talking about Babylon today. This the land of confusion right here. This the land of confusion where your sons and daughters can open up a book and say, wow, it said that our ancestors was in slavery and that your ancestors did it. And they snatch the book from them and say, no, that ain't true. Give me that book. You wrote it. We ain't write no book in no textbook in no school. You wrote that book. But then you want our kids to have blinders on when they read. Okay, go ahead, read, Timmy. I can't see. You got blinders on me. I can't take them off, though, Timmy. You might learn some truth. That's the mindset of these people. Go ahead. Verse 2.
Verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
What's the banner? The Bible. Lift the Bible up upon the high mountain, meaning what? In Babylon. Lift the banner on high in Babylon. Go out and teach the Bible. Go out and correlate the times and the things that's happening and the things that have happened in the past and correlate it with my word God is saying. Go ahead.
Exalt the voice unto them.
And go on the street corners and get you a Bigfoot or exalt your voice. Whatever you got to do, get you a microphone and a speaker and teach the people. Teach your people. Go ahead.
Shake the hand.
Shake the hand.
That they may go into the gates of the nobles.
And so that they go into the gates of the nobles. So what does that mean? You mean to tell me the president of the United States ain't heard of the Israelites? You mean to tell me the governors, the senators, the mayors, the police chiefs, they ain't heard of the Israelites? They don't know we out there teaching? They don't know what's going on in their city? This man know his credit score if it dropped 1 point. So-called white man credit score dropped 1 point. At 3 a.m., he get alerts to his phone. He up stressed. Oh, my God. I'm down to an 805. You understand? But he don't know we out teaching on the corner. He know. They watch us. They know. So now the word is going to the gates of the noble. They say, look, man, this stuff picking up steam. Well, I don't know how many of them it is exactly, but I'm going down Facebook and everybody changing their name to Israel. Everybody getting biblical names now. Everybody comments. They on TikTok. They on Clubhouse. They're on YouTube. They got their own TV. IUIC. I'm telling you, we need to do something about this. You better take away that critical race theory in those schools, because if you don't, black people going to start putting 2 and 2 together, and we can't rule no more. That's what's going on right now. Go ahead.
Verse 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones.
The prophets.
I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger,
The angels.
even them that rejoice in my highness.
So guess what? When the prophets go teach, the angels activate. The angels activate, you see war popping up all over the world. Somalia. United States just bombed Somalia. Russia and China just joined the league together. The Iranians said, look, red flag of doom. We're going to get y'all back for Soleimani. Terrorist attacks within the country by other nations. Them same nations that they letting in because they want to give off this whole idea that we're all inclusive. Come here. We're a democracy. And they say, oh, okay, y'all a democracy? Oh, okay, I'm going to come over there. And while I'm over there, I'm going to put C4 on my chest and blow myself up in the bank. And that's what's going on. At Nashville, Tennessee last year, there was an explosion. They blew up one of them trailers right down the street, blew up the whole apartment complex that was right next to it in the middle of downtown Nashville. Terrorist attacks, sleeper cells all around this place. Oh, but no, you good, you protected. No, the Israelites out teaching, they getting scared. That's what it is. We standing up on our feet, they're getting scared. Anything got something to do with slavery, they want to eliminate it. Don't say nothing about it, because them Israelites going to correlate it with the scriptures, and we going to lose. That's what's going on. Now give me 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 through 4.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3.
Come on.
Let no man deceive you by any means.
So don't let nobody deceive you, Israelites, you black people, you Hispanic, you Native Indians. Stop being deceived. Pay attention. Let no man deceive you by any means.
For that day shall not come.
The day of Christ is not going to come.
Except there become a falling away first.
Until the Israelites fall completely into slavery, lose their heritage, lose their names, lose their languages. Go ahead.
And that the man of sin be revealed.
Now, how he going to be revealed? Go ahead.
The son of perdition.
How he going to be revealed? Keep reading.
Who opposeth.
That's how he going to be revealed. He opposeth.
And exalteth himself.
And exalted himself.
Above all that is called God.
Anything that got anything to do with God, he exalts himself. God said, hey, look, don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. He said, no, it's okay. We got medicine that you can take to take your blood pressure down. We got shots that you can take to get the iodine poison out of you. Don't worry about that. We got surgery. We got science now. Oh, you want to be a man? It's okay. It's all right. We can cut you up. We can stitch things onto you to make you appear to be a man. Oh, we can take your ovaries out. Yeah, we do all that. Yeah, we good. Oh, you want to know who your ancestors are? Okay, we got DNA tests. That's cool. You can find out that you 3/4 German and 1/4 this and 2/7 that and all that crap. I'm 1/10 Cherokee. How the hell you 1/10 Cherokee? Huh? That don't make no sense to me whatsoever. So you 10% Cherokee. How you know? What? I mean, a sperm comes from one man. So I'm trying to figure out how you 10% Cherokee. That don't make absolutely no sense. So your mama, I don't understand. So is it 50-50? Is it 5 and 5 and they together and they both make 10 together and your mama 1? I don't understand. See, the percentages got me confused. I'm confused now. I don't understand. So they want to keep, what you say? That's the point. They keep you confused to not know what the hell going on. So the Bible said this man going to exalt himself and oppose everything that is of God. He going to go adverse or against God. He is Satan. The spirit of Satan is in him. This particular man. Read.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Pull up Google for me, and I want the crowd to see it. I want the people on the screen to see you on Google. Just pull up a fresh Google screen for me so people know we didn't make this up. This ain't something we did on our own, all right? All right, he got a fresh Google screen. Just type in Jesus and go to images. Oh, my goodness. Now, who in the world?
The hell is this?
Who in the world told them to make this? And even in the first 4 rows, there's not one black image. They're all white. Every last one of them, right? Every last one of them. So, read that part again in verse 4.
Verse 4. Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
Go ahead.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God.
So that he as God
sitteth in the temple of God.
Zoom in for me. Sit in the temple of God, doing what?
Showing himself that he is God.
Look at all those images. He gonna show you he God. He said, I'm God, I'm the Lamb. Come to me, all ye that are heavy laden and that are burdened. Come to me and I'll save you and I'll stop you from, getting shot down the streets by the police. Oh, no, that's still happening. Or I'll stop you from getting GMO food. Oh, no, that's still happening. I know. I'll save you from your oppressors. Oh, but we still here. So what this man did for us? Nothing. He ain't real. That's an idol right there. This is what they do. This is the son of perdition. This is the man of perdition. Right? It's the man of sin. That's what it's going into right there. Sin, 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 sin. He about sin. He loves sin. He indulged in sin. Now read 8.
Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
You hear that? God's wisdom, when you receive it, you look back and you say, well, who was the one that put us on the slave ship? Okay, I understand we the Israelites because the Bible says we went into slavery on slave ships. Then we say, okay, now that you got that, who is the enemies that put you on the slave ship that the Bible talk about? They say, hold up. That's so-called white people. You say, okay, well, they put you on a slave ship. And who hung your people from trees? They say, dang, so-called white people. I said, the Bible says Jesus black. Who taught you he was white? They said, dang, so-called white people. This is what the Bible telling you. He going to be revealed. He going to be consumed from the spirit of God's mouth, which is what? The Bible. This Bible has a spirit in it, and it unlocks things into your psyche, into your understanding. You just got to be spiritual enough to understand it. You need I-solve, which is this word, the laws of God. Go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
God said he's going to destroy with the brightness of his son's coming. When Christ comes, he's going to destroy this same man of perdition, this man of sin, this son of perdition. Some people want to get rid of the slaves, said, look, we need to have a union where everything's connected. Some people said, hell no. I make a lot of money out these niggas. Y'all not taking them away. We know them as the southern states, the Confederacy. So how does only 8% of high school seniors, only 8 of them know that? 8% of them know that. That's a disservice in education. But why is that the case? Because they want to cover what they've done. They don't want our children to know. Or you know what? Them kids ain't worried about school. They up there looking at their phone all day. They trying to holler at sisters. Sisters trying to get their back beat in by these little dudes in the locker room. We know we was kids. We know how I go into high school. High school wicked as hell. High school ain't like it was when you was living in the 60s. And y'all probably getting it in back then too. But 90s on up, when I was alive, when I was a kid, when I was young, and then, 2008, when I was in high school, brothers and sisters were getting it in under the bleachers.
Oh my God.
Before and after school, we ain't know nothing about no critical race. We ain't know nothing about no Civil War. I ain't learned about that stuff till I was an adult, man. When I was in school, I ain't give a you-know-what about no Civil War. I fell asleep in history class. Social studies, I was asleep. Only thing I liked was math and basketball. That was it. I wasn't thinking about nothing else, bro. Literally, we was deceived. Didn't learn nothing. So how does only 8% of these seniors know this? When the Bible tells us to never forget our history. You have something you want to say? Give me Psalm 78 real quick. Psalm 78 and 1. I got to say something. I was going to let the whole video go, but it's 6 minutes. And you know it's hard for me. I'm working on it. Hard for me to do it. 78 and 1. Psalm.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old.
Go ahead.
Which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us.
See that? Our forefathers passed down dark sayings of old to their children. That's how it always was, right? That's how it's supposed to be now. We're supposed to pass down history of our ancestors to our children. Black parents have done their children a disservice by only letting the school system raise their kids. This is why they got your kids in school 8, 9, 10 hours. Because some of you don't get out work to 7. So who's going to watch your kids? Some of them ain't old enough, so you do what? Put them in the Boys and Girls Club. Put them into the after-school program. And they ain't teaching them nothing. They playing PE, playing basketball, over smoking weed in the corner. Go ahead.
Verse 4, we will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and his strength and his wonderful works that he have done.
Like when he saved us out of Egypt. Our kids supposed to know about that. Passover, our kids supposed to know about that. Go ahead.
For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them.
See that? That the generation to come might know what? The laws. Teaching our kids the laws. What is also contained in the law? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Leviticus, the 26th chapter. How we're supposed to eat. The things that happened to us. How God took our power because we sinned against him. right? How Adam was black, how Mary was black, how Moses was black, how Jesus was black. All that's written in God's commandments, God's Bible. We're supposed to understand that. But we don't understand it because they got our oppressors raising our kids in the school system. Go ahead.
Even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children.
So it's generational. We're supposed to keep teaching the history to our kids. Now they're telling us, no, let's take the history out of the school because we don't want your kids knowing what happened to them. We want your kids to not look at our kids in the way that they sent us. Right? We got a caller? Let the caller in real quick. Hey, shalom, caller. You on with Escaping the Plantation 2.0. Who we speaking with?
Shalom, brother. This is James Israel.
Shalom, brother James. What you got?
I was calling to ask you, hasn't they been teaching critical race theory ever since slavery? Because they've been teaching us that we wasn't the Israelites, and now they trying to take slavery out now.
Right. You right though. They ain't never taught us we was the Israelites. Ain't that critical
It's
race
just
theory?
it's just getting worse now.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
To the eye.
For real though. For real. All praise to the Most High. I appreciate you for that, bro.
All praise.
All right, shalom. Most High, Christ bless you. Finish that script.
Verse 5, for he established a testimony in Jacob. I'm sorry.
Oh, use verse 7.
Verse 7. Verse 7, that they might set their hope in God.
You hear that? Our children don't know to set their hope in God. Why? Because we hadn't taught them correctly. Because our ancestors didn't teach us correctly. And the school system will never teach you this. So the Bible says we're supposed to teach our children the works of God so they'll set their hope in God. That, hey, God is merciful. God will save his people. Right. That's why we like that sister that did that TikTok video talking about how the Bible is useless. Why ain't God save our people? I don't care about him saving the Israelites from Pharaoh. Why he won't save us? Dummy, you are the ones that he saved out of Egypt. And he gonna save you again if you just be quiet and learn.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments.
So we supposed to teach our children so they won't forget God's works. But they made sure that only 8% of our children know that the Civil War was caused by the abolition of slavery or the abolishing of slavery. Go ahead, you had something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, right now, some of us, we have kids, the Israelites. Guess what? We teaching our kids these things. We teaching our kids that we are the Israelites according to the Bible. Right. Some of our kids can go into Deuteronomy right now, like 4, 5, 6 years old right now, and pick it up and read it. Like, yeah, that's us that went into slavery.
That's right.
We was the one that was came off the slave ships and we was given to the so-called white man. Mm-hmm. Some of our kids can actually be able to do that. So guess what? Our kids are still in the system. They go and learn these things. They go and learn the Bible. And guess what? If the teacher bring it up now and say, "Oh no, we sold ourselves into slavery," guess what our kids gonna do? No, we didn't. Because according to the Bible, we didn't do that.
That's right.
Our children gonna learn to say, "Nah, that didn't happen. That's false.
That's right.
That's not what my mama taught me. That's not what my daddy taught me." So all praise to the Most High. That's all I got.
Yes, sir. That's an excellent point. So we teach it, and you know what's funny about what you said? I'm glad you made that point, also. Because you know what's going to end up happening, right? When our kids go to school, they got to dumb themselves down. Right. Our kids know the truth. And then they go to school and they see critical race theory being taken out of the school. They see they don't want to teach about slavery anymore. Black History Month is watered down. Next thing you know, they're going to be teaching Cardi B and Black History Month. Yeah. For real, though. Beyonce as being one of our founding mothers or something like that for the black community. That's what they're going to be teaching. Jeremiah 50:33.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
You hear that? They refused to let them go. Remember, Christ said, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall" what? Make you free. So they said, we can't let them go mentally. We got to keep them mentally shackled, mentally in chains, so that they'll continue to think that they niggas, the African Americans, they'll hate their brothers, the Hispanics. They won't know that the Native Indians are the same people that they are, right? They'll continue to murder each other. They'll continue to hate each other. They'll continue to oppress each other. We cannot teach them any type of truth. We cannot allow slavery to be taught in the schools to correlate with the Bible, because then they're going to wake up, and we can't let that happen, right? Go from there. Go to Nehemiah 2:10. Same thing. They're going to say the same thing. They don't want to let you go. Why would they? You've been serving them all this time. Nehemiah 2:10.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 2 and verse 10.
When
Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonites, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel.
So Sanballat the Horonite was a Moabite. Horonite, when it goes into Horonite, we can look it up on, Bible study too. We're not going to do it right now. But this dude was Moab. And then and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, Ammon was the so-called Japanese today, right? So it says, read again.
When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel.
It makes them mad that somebody is coming and exposing the things that have happened for the welfare of the children of Israel. The same spirit is in our oppressors today, all over the world. You start speaking truth, I'll give you an example. We go out and teach on the street, right? The so-called Arab, he come outside, he say, hey, y'all can't teach people not to come in my store on Saturdays and buy. He said, yes, we can. And we gonna do it. We ain't gotta be on your property to do it. We stand over here and teach the same, but we gonna teach it. And they get mad. They'll call the police sometimes, but then when they see they don't have a point because we're on a public property, they can't do it. Then they get angry, they get mad. And then Jake go in there and complain to him. Yeah, they out there talking about you, big dog. They out there talking about you, Ahmad. They out there talking about you, man. You understand? But that's the spirit that's in them. When somebody comes to teach the welfare of the children of Israel, they don't like that. They want to get rid of you. They want you off their premises. They want you away. So now it's the same thing with the critical race theory. They want it out the school, right? Go from there. Give me Proverbs 4. Read 7. Watch what the Bible says.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Come on.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
So the Bible says, I'm sorry, I read the comment. I thought somebody said something crazy. Go ahead, read again.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
So wisdom is the principal thing. Go ahead.
Therefore, get wisdom.
So get wisdom. And what?
And with all thy getting, get understanding.
Us learning about our history is us gaining wisdom. But we have to have the understanding of why it happened. Read.
Verse 8, exalt her, and she shall promote thee.
You hear that? Exalt wisdom, and it will promote thee. It'll give you understanding. You'll be able to live a different life. You'll be able to see things different. You'll see clearly. Go ahead.
She shall bring thee to honor.
And it's going to bring you to honor because people are going to hear you speak, and they say, how you learn all that? Where do you get your information from? Because they're going to see the spirit on you. A spirit of information, a spirit of wisdom, knowledge, understanding. But that all comes from learning the Bible and correlating it with world history. Read.
When thou doest embrace her, she shall give to thine head an ornament of grace.
Read.
A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee.
Read. Watch this.
Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many.
Read.
I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths.
So the way of wisdom is right paths. Go ahead.
When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened. And when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble.
So as our children grow up, they won't stumble. They won't be straightened. They're going to be able to walk in righteous path. They're going to have to understand it like, yo, my ancestors went into slavery because we broke God's commandments. The way we get out of slavery is to keep God's commandments. So when you present Christmas to them, they say, no, that's against God's law. When you present pork to them, or fornication, or pornography, or drug dealing, gangbanger, they say, no, I can't do that. That's breaking God's laws. This is why my ancestors went in slavery. This is how I'm going to be redeemed out of slavery. You think they want black kids walking around thinking that? That's going to make them change. And as they change, this kingdom falls because this kingdom is built off of the back of slaves. We used to build it free. Now we build it through our finances. We fund this place. We buy this merchandise. We keep them rich. They give us income taxes, and in 6 weeks it's gone. They give us stimulus checks, and in 3 days it's gone. And we go spend it right back on the PS5, the Call of Duties, the Jordans, going to the football game, going to the basketball game, going over here, going over there, the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci. We're going to get them the money right back. They know that. So now it's saying right here, that's why we need wisdom. Go ahead.
Verse 13, take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life.
That's your life. Wisdom is your life. Go ahead.
Enter not into the path of the wicked.
Hear that? That's what we've been seeing our brothers and sisters that be cooning. That's what they do. They enter where?
Enter not into the path of the wicked.
They stand with the wicked. They on their side. The lies, they continue to push them. That dude said it's an attack on white children. Attack on white teachers. What? How? Go ahead.
And go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it and pass away.
You hear that? Turn from it and pass away. But what gives you the understanding to do that? The Bible. The Bible gives you the clear wisdom to say these are the same people that destroyed our ancestors. How did they do it? Because we was disobedient to God. So in order for me to reverse those roles and for me to be able to rule over my oppressors one day, I got to keep God's commandments. Boom. Click right in your mind. You're like, okay, I got to repent. That's it. Repentance.
That's right.
Go to Psalm 64, verse 8. I want you to pull up their books for me. Who is Esau, Edom? Read wrong Psalm 64,
The
verse 8.
book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 8. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together.
So they said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. Go ahead.
They have burnt up all the synagogues of God in the land.
Wait a minute. I wasn't even trying to. Where you at? I thought when I said Psalm 64 and 8, I thought. Where you at? That thing fire. Go back. What that is?
That's Psalms 74.
Psalm 74. Let me read that. Hold up. Oh, no. You all right? It was the Spirit of the Lord. Oh, that's what I wanted earlier. Yeah. Read verse 4.
The book of Psalms, chapter 74 and verse 4.
Watch that.
Thine enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations.
Read.
They set up their ensigns for signs.
So their ensigns for signs is what we just saw on the screen when we looked up Jesus and went to an Edomite. When we see these Confederate flags flying around here, when we see these statues of these Confederate soldiers and generals around here, when we see the Statue of Liberty, that's a sign for them. When we see the eagle, that's a sign for them. You understand that? They set up their sign. You in the spirit. All praises. Read.
Verse 5. A man was famous according as he had lifted up axes upon the thick trees.
So carvings. We would carve out images of our forefathers. Go ahead.
But now they break down the carved work thereof.
But they broke, when they destroyed Jerusalem, they broke down the carved work. Go ahead.
With axes and hammers.
They destroyed it. Go ahead.
They have cast fire into thy sanctuary.
And they cast fire into the sanctuary of God. Burned it down. The Babylonians did it alongside the Edomites, and then we also had it happen in 70 A.D. Read.
They have defiled by casting down.
They did Black Wall Street the same way. Go ahead.
The dwelling place of thy name to the ground.
Go ahead.
They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. They have burnt up all the synagogues of God in the land.
Read. Watch this.
We see not our signs.
See that we don't see our images. We don't see pictures of our forefathers being black. The Israelite being black now in 2021. IUIC Renaissance, we have to do that. Right? We have to go and we have to make these images. You can draw all praise. Get to work. You know what I'm saying? We need brothers and sisters that got talent to draw these images of our forefathers based on what we read in the scriptures, because we need it. Because right now we don't see our signs. They burned them down. They destroyed them. Go ahead.
We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet. Neither is there any among us any that knoweth how, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long.
So there's not any among us that know how long, meaning how long we're going to be in this condition, right? Our people don't understand it. We don't even know. Christ said, I don't know when the Lord going to send his son, right? So I had said, well, but I did want Psalm 64 and 8, though.
Yes, sir. Hey, Cap, before
go ahead.
Get that. Now I was just thinking, when you was just reading that, they cast down, cast down the temple, right, and burn it down. So for some of us, for us to help, us to remember, some of us, when we come out of high school, some of us go to museums and everything, and right? They be like, damn, I learned that in school. I remember that in school, but I never really searched into it. Eventually, guess what? All that's going to be gone.
Right.
They're going to take all their way.
Yep.
And guess who they going to put up? The Cardi B's.
Yep.
They're going to put up Nicki Minaj. And guess how they going to look? Look like whores, right?
Damn.
And they're going to be looking like that, damn. I used to dress like that. I love dressing like that. You know what? I'm going to go and do that again.
Yep.
That's what our children are going to be raised to see. They're going to start to see the entertainers today, because that's what they see now. They're not going to see those that actually stood up and fought for equal rights and all that. They're not going to see like the Martin Luther King or the Malcolm X or the Harriet Tubman or, the things that happened to us. But no, what they're going to see is what they see today. That's what's going to be in the museum eventually. Well, praise.
That's right. Hey, Psalm 64 and 8, you right?
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
So I'm gonna show you this. I know I said get the critical race theory, right? I mean the who's who of the Bible. I said who's who of the Bible. The who is Esau Edom. Go to that real quick. Who is Esau Edom? And I'm gonna show you a video too. Who is Esau Edom? All right, go to the next page.
Who is Esau? Okay, go ahead.
Go to the top. Zoom in on the first blue. Mm-hmm. I just want this one little part. You can pull us down.
Who is Esau Edom? Go up some. A little bit more. There is not one favorable or positive statement in the Bible in relation to Esau Edom.
That's some heavy stuff right there, boy. There is not one favorable or positive statement in the Bible in relation to Esau Edom. Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Yep.
But how does this adverse relationship which God has toward Esau Edom help us to identify who this character is in the world today? To help us answer this, we have put ourselves into the role which Esau has been assigned in God's script. If God hated you and your ancestors, how would you react and what would you do? By natural reaction, you would be against God and his people.
Wait, man, hold on, man. Now, how many times is we gonna have to read this book for y'all? For you Christians to understand. Read that part again you just read. I'm sorry.
By natural reaction, you would be against God and his people.
Go ahead.
And try to prevent them from finding out you are Esau.
Go ahead.
The one God is against, knowing that if God is against something, so will his followers.
Because if they know that you Edom and you the man of sin, the son of perdition, then they gonna not listen to you. Read the scripture you read, Psalm 64 and 8 one more time.
Yes, sir. The book of Psalm, chapter 64 and verse 8.
Watch what it say at the bottom. Go ahead.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Well, you know black folks didn't write that. It's a white man that wrote this book. Go ahead.
All that see them shall flee away.
So go back to the bottom part of the book where it says his people and try.
Yes, sir.
That third line from the bottom.
Okay.
By natural reaction. Read that part.
By natural reaction, you would be against God and his people and try to prevent them from finding out that you are Esau, the one God is against, knowing that if God is against something, so will his followers.
So that when people see them, they'll flee away. That's what this prophecy says in Psalm 64, verse 8. Now watch this. Keep reading on that book.
Yes, sir. Who is it that tries to conceal their identity as Edom, the one hated by God, by claiming to be Israel?
They claim to be the Israelites. Go ahead.
The one loved by God.
Go ahead.
Only one group of people reacts as though God has Only one group of people reacts as though God has a hatred for them. Mm-hmm. That is the Jews.
That is the Jews. The people that you call the Jews today, the synagogue of Satan, them the only people that's afraid of anybody knowing that they not the real Jew.
That's right.
If you know you the real Jew, what you scared for? Right. The Bible say you destined to rule the earth. It don't matter. Right. But they know they ain't the Jews. Now watch this. Keep reading.
Why do you suppose the Jews form organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League to monitor and combat hate and to identify hate groups?
You hear this? Do you hear this? Why you think they will form organizations like the Anti-Defamation League or make a brother like Nick Cannon apologize on national television, break down the baby, Deshaun Jackson, anybody that speak out, even Amari Stoudemire, that brother broke. You understand? Why they do that to people? Why would they stop that? If we the Jews, why we can't just be the Jews? Why we can't believe we the Israelites? Why is it so? Why would they try to get our clubhouse room shut down? We have footage of their clubhouse room where they said it in the room. Should we just report the room and get it shut down? Trying to stop us from teaching truth because one of their rabbis, so-called rabbis, got on there and got demolished. Go ahead.
Would not Esau want to do this? Why is it that it is predominantly Jews who promote the anti-hate laws and other hate crime legislation? If you were Esau Edom, would you not do the same?
If you was Esau Edom, would you not do the same? Now look at the scriptures he got. He got Obadiah 1. Ezekiel 36:5. Ezekiel 35:3. Man, they got, hey, man, Esau been doing research. They said, hell no. Them Jews is Esau, Edom. But guess what you is too? You that wrote that, you is too. Yeah. Let's go from there real quick. You have something? Okay, all right, let's go from there. Go to the next book. There's another book I posted called Two Nations. It's another picture of a book. Yep, go to the next one. Hold up. Let's see what we got. Zoom in on that giant. Let me see. The Edomite Jews. Let me see. Go up to the blue. All right, pull us down. Let's read it.
The Edomite Jews of today are the main ones who are concerned about hate, and with good reason. They are desperately trying to suppress all hate, even any acts or words that could be construed as causing mental anguish.
I'll translate that for you. Anti-Semitic. That's what that means, mental anguish. Anything causing mental anguish. Now, I want to ask you another thing. When you read that, zoom back out. When you read that, it says they are the one that's trying to suppress all hate. What does that also mean? They now say that gay is the new black. And they try to sympathize, say, black people, look at all y'all done been through. Now y'all gonna discriminate against gay people, knowing that y'all done been through what y'all been through? I still hadn't seen a gay person put on the bottom of a slave ship, taken from their mothers and fathers, taken to another land to build it up for free. Then when they release from slavery, get put right back on the slave plantation through convict leasing. I ain't seen no gay person go through any type of destruction or any type of turmoil or poverty that way. Never been ridiculed in that way, ever. Stop playing. They run the world now. You can't say nothing about them. You can't even say the right pronoun. Here it is, I'm looking at a man, but if I say he get mad and go to the police and say, he called me he. What? And the police looking like, well, you is a he. Nigga, you a man. Wait, so give me that sound bite you always play. You don't even know what I'm talking about. He ain't in the spirit with me. He out. What's up, Baruch? Where you at?
Nigga, you gay.
30 minutes later, it's all right. He all right. That's my brother right there. He be on point. 99.9% of the time, he be on point. He just missed that one. Hey, give me that the other book, though. The reason I'm showing these books is to show you that Esau loves to cover himself. He loves to try to use, because he knows he has a short time left. Give me that real quick in Revelation 12. In verse 12. Since we own that. Revelation 12 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
This is why the devil said get rid of the 1619 project, get rid of that critical race theory, put legislation in place to stop them from teaching that, because it's going to uncover who we truly are. And we ain't got that much time left. So let's come down with all wrath. Why you think there's so much gay stuff going on? Why you think there's so much transgender, so much evil in the world? Esau like, man, the hell with it. I'm finna lose anyway. I can't win. Turn up. That's what Esau's saying. Turn up. What them black folks say out there, you know, the rich elites of the world, they saying, man, turn up, man. It's done for us. He coming back. You read the Bible. I can't, they shaking each other. You read the damn Bible. You know he coming back. Let's go to Mars. He gonna get us up there too.
That's right.
Let's go get an International Space Station. Let's get a Space Force. Go ahead, just make your little Space Force. You ain't gonna win. We had to put that stuff in their mind about Independence Day. We know we ain't gonna win. So he know he got a short time left, right? So go to the next book. My grandmother gave me this book. My grandmother's a quote-unquote scholar. She loved racial history and stuff like that. She got thousands of books like this. I'm talking literally thousands. And I just came across this one. Sorry, the stain on the front. I don't know where they come from. Probably from some spaghetti or something. Two Nations. All right, that's the name of this book. Read it.
Two nations, black and white, separate, hostile, unequal.
Now notice it say two nations. That's what the angel or the Lord told our foremother, Rebecca, was what was in her womb. Two nations. Now this is written by a man named Andrew Hacker. Let's go to the page that I wanted. Let's read it from the top. Now watch what he says. Go back. Okay, let's read it from the top. Now start at the very top where you see the orange. Yes, please. Could you zoom in? All right, go up. Go up. All right, here we go.
Of course, there are places where the races mingle, yet in most significant respects, the separation is pervasive and penetrating. As a social and human division, it surpasses all others, even gender, in intensity and subordination.
Go ahead.
If white Americans regard the United States as their nations, they also see it beset with racial problems.
So he's saying that white people see the issues going on in the country as far as race is concerned. Go ahead.
They feel are not.
Go ahead, read again.
They feel are not of their making.
So read again from the top.
Yes, sir. If white Americans regard the United States as their nation, they also see it beset with racial problems they feel are not of their making.
See this? When they look at it being their nation, they also feel that the racial problems of the nation is not of their doing. They didn't make these issues, but they took the land from the Native Americans and killed them and slaughtered them and forced them to learn their religion, their language. I seen some sisters and brothers yesterday, Native American, man, Gad look bad, bro. Gad fat as hell. I'm just being real. Gad overweight, bro. Me and my wife and kids went out. We were just hanging out one day. That was Friday, actually. And some Gadite brothers and sisters came in. They looked defeated. They looked defeated. They looked demoralized. They overweight. You understand? They never ate like that. Esau taught them to eat 3-4 times a day. They said that Esau, when he came over here, you read about that in Destruction of the Indies by Bartolome de las Casas. He said that the conquistadors and that the pilgrims ate more food in one day than the natives ate in a month. They ate 3-4 times a day like Slavs, like pigs. And Gad looking like, look, y'all just ate up a month's supply of our food. We can eat once a day. And that's why Gad was in such great shape. This is why they couldn't test him. That's why they had to get the Gatling gun to kill him. But they don't think that that's of their doing. They don't think bringing people over here in slavery and forcing them to pick cotton for free, you understand? And then those same people were never given any type of therapy, any type of treatment, any type of compensation for that. And you think that somehow these people are going to be right in their head. They're not going to be right. They haven't had the proper treatment. Right? Go ahead.
Some contrast current conditions with earlier times, when blacks appear more willing to accept a subordinate status.
So in other words, make America great again. Y'all should just accept your subordinate status. The reason things are changing is because y'all Negroes ain't slaves no more. If y'all was still just slaves, everything will be all right in white Jesus. But since y'all ain't slaves no more because the abolishing of slavery, then now that's why all these problems happen. It ain't our doing. It's because y'all been freed. Damn. Go ahead.
Most whites will protest that they bear neither responsibility nor blame for the conditions blacks face.
Wow. Wow. So what we read last week or the week before that when we looked at redlining, white flight, ghettos, that what they doing? Man, these people, they will not accept responsibility. They're like a black woman who getting corrected by her Lord. They will not take accountability.
Bring it out.
It is what it is. Go ahead. Damn, so that's where the black woman got it from.
Message.
Esau won't take accountability, so that's why she don't. So that's her God. Damn.
Bring it out, yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Bring it out.
Damn. They mad at me now. They done logged out. Look. I didn't mess around. Go ahead.
Neither they nor their forebears ever owned slaves.
That's what they say. We ain't never owned no slaves.
Nor can they see themselves as having held anyone back or down.
But they benefit off the system that held us down.
Right.
Go ahead.
Most white Americans believe that for at least the last generation, blacks have been given more than a fair chance at least equal opportunity, if not outright advantages.
You know what they mean when they say outright advantages? They mean things like affirmative action, where you basically have to hire someone. You can't discriminate against someone because of their race, and that you have to have a certain percentage of a certain race on your staff, as it's called affirmative action, right? They saying, look, don't let none of them Negroes get no job. I don't want to work next to none. I want me and my family to be straight. Keep them in the ghettos. Keep them down. Let them stay over on their side of town to kill each other. That's what they saying. That's what that's going into right there. That's what we just read. That's the mindset of them, right? Now give me Psalms 55 and 16. And these same people are Christian. We didn't do nothing wrong. No, before that, give me Jeremiah 50 and 6. Watch this.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Go ahead.
They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
So we have gone from government to government, religion to religion. We have forgot our resting place. We are as lost sheep. As lost sheep, our shepherds, meaning our leaders, they have caused us to go astray. Now watch verse 7, though.
Verse 7, all that found them have devoured them. And their adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their father.
They said, look, we ain't did nothing wrong. What we do wrong? It's their fault they in slavery. It's their fault they in the condition they in. Everything, we blame everything on them. We didn't have no bearing. We didn't do nothing wrong. That's the same spirit in them today. Damn! And it's talking about Babylon the Great, too, by the way. Go to Psalms 55 now. It's crazy.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55.
Verse 16.
Verse 16. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me.
You at 55? I said 55, I meant 50, excuse me. I wrote down the wrong scripture. I meant 50 and 16. Psalm 50, 16.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
So God's speaking to the wicked, which is Esau according to the Bible, and the other nations. He said, what do you think you're doing reading my Bible? You don't even supposed to be picking the book up or reading it. Watch this.
Seeing thou hatest instruction.
Because you hate instruction. You're not going to do what it says. You ain't going to follow it. Go ahead.
And casteth my words behind thee.
And you cast my words behind thee. You don't do what my Bible says. Skip down to verse 20.
Verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Jacob, go ahead.
These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself.
Read.
But I will reprove thee.
God said, but I'm going to reprove y'all. Go ahead.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
And I'm going to set them in order before your eyes. That's what you see happening today. That's why they want to eliminate slavery out the school completely. To stop us from correlating it with the truth and what the Bible actually says. Right? Now, give me, it's a video I wanted real quick. Give me the video, Concerned Parent Speaks Out Against CRT. It's a black sister on, she got red in her hair. Watch this. We're going to run through these next few videos back to back to back, then we'll go into scripts. Send it again? No, it wasn't TikTok. It's a Fox News. Concerned parent speaks out against CRT. You want me to send it again? I thought we had it. Hold on. Hey, so while y'all pulling that up, pull up the last video I just sent with the Edomite. On TikTok. Yeah, pull that up. Watch this.
The problem with
They own
critical
tongue
race
follow
theory is
themselves.
that it demonizes white people. Does it claim that white people have, like, pointy tails? Not literally, but it says all white people are bad. No, critical race theory does not say all white people are bad. Well, it talks about white privilege. We live in a country that was built by people who were enslaved because their skin's a little darker than yours and mine, so yeah, we have some privileges. Yeah, but slavery was abolished. Still have slave catchers. Slave catchers? Yes, slave catchers, but now we call them police. Well, I don't feel privileged. When you post on TikTok, does anybody ever say you should still be enslaved? No. Black people hear that and worse literally every day. Yeah, but how is that white privilege? I prefer to think of it as white armor. Armor? When black people express their opinions online, they're often attacked in degrading racial terms. That doesn't happen to us because our whiteness is like armor. I guess that makes sense. But why does that make me a bad person? It doesn't. But critical race theory makes me feel like I should be doing something. Well, you are wearing armor. What does that mean? Black people have to fight against racism every day of their lives without the benefit of armor. Since I have armor, I could probably help. That's the idea. I guess that also means that if you're wearing armor and not helping, kind of a dick move. Well, so why doesn't critical race theory say that? Critical race theory says that if you have privilege to use, you should use it to help people without. That's what I just said. Well, that just seems like basic stuff. Why is there so much controversy about it? That's just marketing. Marketing? Yeah, propaganda for the Republican Party. What does the Republican Party have to do with this? Critical race theory has been around for decades, and suddenly, a couple months ago, all Republicans start talking about it all the time. Is that a coincidence? We did all start talking about it at the same time, because it's a marketing campaign, except the product is racial division. But I thought critical race theory was what was dividing us. Critical race theory is a call to action for white people to help dismantle white supremacy. The only people who find that divisive are white supremacists.
Damn.
The problem with critical race theory is that it's
man, that's what the scripture mean when it say they're gonna make their own tongue fall upon themselves. That's what that mean. Now we don't need your help, but but real though, what he said was real though. Critical race theory been around forever, man. Been around for 20-some years, but now all of a sudden it's a problem because white supremacists want to keep white supremacy reigning. Those are your Trump supporters, right? Go to that video, Concerned Black Parent Speaks Out Against CRT. You got to ask yourself, why they always want black folks on stuff like this? Play that. There's an ad. All right, well, when it skip, put that thing on the screen. There's another ad. Lord have mercy. All right, here we go. 215. Holy Ghost 5. Play it.
Beginning early last June, school curricula have changed completely and become explicitly political and openly racist. And most parents have just sat there on their hands and watched it happen and watched their kids hurt by it. But one group of parents in Loudoun County, Virginia, right outside Washington, is fighting back against all of this, against a curriculum that teaches their kids to hate their country and to judge their classmates based on how they look, on their skin color. Several parents had the courage to say this publicly a few days ago at a school board meeting. Watch.
CRT is not an honest dialogue. It is a tactic that was used by Hitler and the Ku Klux Klan on slavery very many years ago to dumb down my ancestors so we could not think for ourselves. CRT is racist. It is abusive. It discriminates against one's color. Let me educate you. An honest dialogue does not oppress. An honest dialogue does not implement hatred or injustice. It's to communicate without deceiving people. Today, we don't need your agreement. We want action and a backbone for what we asked for today, to ban CRT. I had to come down here today to tell you to your face that we are coming together and we are strong. This will not be the last. Greet and meet respectfully.
America is not strong.
Wow. The first time we saw that video, our instant response was, that woman, her name is Chantel Cooper, deserves an award. She's a mother. She's a member.
They always want to reward coons, man. That's just a coon.
Coon, super coon, Negro in training.
She got up there and just said all that dumb stuff. She said an honest dialogue does not oppress. So why can't we have an honest dialogue about how they oppressed our people? It's an honest dialogue. That don't oppress nobody. She contradicted herself. All you gotta do is just think. But look, they always want the coon Negro black man and the ostrich black woman. They always want her. They always gotta find her who speak with their accent, who change her voice to sound like them, so they say dumb, stupid things. Give me that real quick in Ezekiel 13:17. Sister prophesied out her own damn heart. None of that stuff, God don't care about none of that stuff you said, sister. God don't give a damn. God says no. Go on the mountaintops and lift up the banner.
That's right.
What made me sick,
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 13, verse 17.
Bring it out.
Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart.
You prophesying out your own heart, man. That ain't what the Bible say, all that stuff she's talking about. Critical race theory is racist and it's divisive and we're strong. Have you not been paying attention? We're in the middle of a damn pandemic. There's a famine on the way. What are you talking about? George Floyd had a knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and we actually had to watch a man go to trial after watching him kill him on national TV.
The hell is this?
But a black woman gonna sit up there and say, we're strong and this is divisive. She gonna destroy her kids.
I need you to shut the hell up for the immediate future.
That always made me laugh. Hey, for real, shut the hell up. Because she gonna destroy her children. Her children will never be able to see this place for what it truly is. Now, do we agree with inciting race riots? No. Do we agree with trying to get the system back by destroying it physically? No. But do we believe in keeping God's commandments and waiting for his son to redeem us? Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
But these same women will say, oh, I'm a Christian and I'm all about Jesus. You about Jesus? Give me Daniel 2:44 then. What you mean you about Jesus? Okay. Daniel 2:44.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44.
Let's see it.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
Against this kingdom that God about to create or about to have reign, it ain't gonna never be destroyed. Go ahead.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
And the kingdom not gonna be left to other nations. It's gonna only be for the Israelites. Read.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
So Christ's kingdom is going to break in pieces and destroy all the kingdoms that came before it. But a black woman like that, brothers and sisters like that, they want to keep this kingdom alive. They don't want Christ to rule. They want their slave master to always be above them. Why? Because he gives you a license to sin. But Christ don't give you a license to sin. Christ said, all those that don't want me to reign, bring them before me and bring hither and slay them before me. A lot of these brothers and sisters are going to get slain before Christ, before his judgment seat. He's going to put them to death, then throw them in the lake of fire for their soul to burn. Go ahead.
Verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
It say, it's sure. This is a sure. What's up? We got a caller? This is sure. 1 second. This is sure. This is going to happen. This prophecy will come to pass. Now, real quick, one more scripture, 7:22. Daniel 7:22.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 22.
Read 18.
Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, and even forever and ever.
So the saints going to take the kingdom. Now skip down to 22.
Verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
So it said all over this chapter. Verse 27.
Verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Everybody is going to obey Jesus Christ. And the whole kingdom of the whole heaven, under the whole heaven, this whole planet is going to be ruled by the saints of the Most High.
That's right.
But you don't want that to happen. And then by doing that, you anti-Christ. You against God.
The devil.
You Satan. You have the spirit of Satan in you. And they always want the black woman to push that thing. Go back to the video. I know we had a caller, but we were at the end of the show, So, sorry, caller. Call in next week. Yeah, read that. Show that.
Of the group Parents Against Critical Theory. And we're very pleased to have her on the show tonight. Chantel Cooper, thank you very much for coming on. What made you do this? So many parents have not done this. You stood up there and did this on camera. Why?
Well, it contradicts everything that Martin Luther King fought for. It's hatred, Marxist ideology, and it places the child in a loophole of oppression, making them feel as a victim. I can't stand for that.
Amazing. Amazing.
Bob.
So describe the...
Wow. Amazing. It's amazing that a nigga think like us. This nigga woman think just like me. Wow. My ancestors really did a number on yours. God. That's what he's saying. She too stupid to see it. You understand? Play it, man. Piss me off.
Kinds of things that you're fighting against. So the school is teaching children to judge one another on the basis of appearance, of skin color.
You teach your son that every damn day.
Yes. Well, it's our job as parents to raise our children, not the school board. One example I can give you was the school was replacing the morning announcement with news. The second, children reached out to find out how they could help and join a club to see if they could, relate with one another, undivided. And they were denied by the color of their skin for the Equity Ambassador Club.
So certain kids couldn't get into, I don't even know what colors you're talking about, but the fact remains kids could not get into a club because they were the wrong color.
Correct.
Well, how is that different from darker periods we consider evil in American history? That sounds very similar.
Well, plain example. You cannot further brotherhood of a man by encouraging class hatred. Our Constitution is what unites us, not the color of our skin.
Yes.
So America, it's just time for us to stand up for one another. This is the last free country.
Pause it. Sister, she's so dumb.
What was the response?
Go back 30 seconds. Let me go back just 2 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. So she says it's the last free country. You're right. It's the last one. It's the last ruling kingdom on earth.
That's right.
Christ's gonna destroy this kingdom. And everybody that's with this kingdom, Christ's gonna kill them.
Yes, sir.
She better repent. Play it.
It's just time for us to stand up for one another. This is the last free country.
She's so dumb. Watch what he say.
Wow. What was the response? I love to hear you say that, and I agree with that 100%. What was the response when you did this?
This nigga really dumb.
When you spoke so publicly about what your school was teaching?
Well, it's been positive. I never knew that there were so many parents that felt the way
Pause
I did.
it. White people love coons. They love them. They'll give you gifts. They'll invite you to their tea parties. They'll let you come to their neighborhood every once in a while. Also, you can continue to push this type of rhetoric. But once they got you to do that, they ain't fooling with you no more. Nigga.
Hell no.
Now go to the last video of the brother. It's a brother, he stood up at a town meeting or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? School board meeting. The name of the video is Watch Black Father Blast Critical Race Theory. It's my last video. I know we're a little bit over time, but I got to finish. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all see it?
When you talk about critical race theory, which is...
Yeah, him. That guy. So this brother is going to stand up in front of all white people at a school board meeting and say this. Play it.
Pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other. That's pretty much what it's going to... That's pretty much, I don't care what you say, it's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You're going to purposely tell a white kid, oh, the black people are all down and suppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How did I get, first of all, try not, because I only got 5 minutes now.
Watch how dumb he
2
is.
medical degrees. No mom, no dad in the house.
Pause it, you dumb Negro. Stupid Negroes, man. All the education in the world, dumb as rocks. Brain this damn big.
Stay off the weed.
Nah, he ain't smoking weed. He's smoking white supremacy.
Damn.
Think about what this dummy just said. If I'm oppressed, then how do I have 2 medical degrees? That was his basis. Then he said, with no mother and no father. Oppression! Dummy! You can't say nothing about black success without talking about the trials and tribulations we had to go through, you dumb idiot. You see how stupid, all you gotta do is listen to these folks talk, man. Oh God, they brain this big, man, with a medical degree. They only know white supremacy. Run it back, just run it back. Oh my God.
degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How did I get, first of all, time out, because I only got 5 minutes now, 5 minutes. 2 minutes.
Let me cool.
No mom, no dad in the house. Worked my way through college. Sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that looked like all y'all white folks kept me from doing that? Are you serious? What's sickening about this whole...
Oh, God. They didn't have to go through what you had to get through to get to where you are.
Bring it up.
Then when you get to where, if they do get to where you are, with both their parents in the house, with all the educational funding, not having the grades, but having a friend of a friend of a friend of the family who got them into the university, was sitting next to you in class with a lower GPA and get a better job.
Bring it up.
Then their sons and their daughters will grow up with your sons and your daughters and get more opportunities because you all oppressed, you dumb fool. I love my people, but our people so stupid. Give me Hosea 4:6, man. You cannot, no, Jeremiah 4:22. You cannot be this crazy. And I don't want
Stop
nobody
being
to say,
a damn
man,
fool.
you talking bad about the brother, you calling the brother dumb, you calling him an idiot. You damn right. The Bible says it too. Give me God's word so they'll know it ain't me.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4 and verse 22.
Bring it up.
For my people is foolish. They have not known me.
God said you foolish and you don't know the truth. You don't know the true God. Read.
They are sottish children.
You're a sottish child. You're a dummy. You're an idiot. Give me the word sottish, please. Look up the word sottish for me, please. Because these Negroes say dumb, stupid things. All you got to do is listen. Well, if I was oppressed, then how in the world do I have 2 medical degrees? Without a mother and a father and that didn't have any education and through foster care and through drug dealing. And you're like, wait a minute, nigga. It sounds like you're oppressed. Dummy? Oh, God. Sottish.
Sottish. Resembling a sot. Drunken. Also, dotish. Stupid.
You're a stupid. You're a dummy. That's what the Bible says. That's what I had to talk in his little white voice that he liked to use. You're an idiot, man. Hey, man, you're dumb, man. You're stupid. That's what God says. Because they'll get mad at me if I say it in our voice because they hate black people. Go back to the video of this dummy. Somebody said, I bet he $250,000 in student loan debt. Aussie Hookenon said that. You right. He ain't get no scholarship. Go ahead. Boy, maybe he
what
did.
y'all doing right now is already something I do in my community right now to speak out against stuff because black folks are getting told by other black folks, oh, you know you ain't gonna be able to do nothing out there in the world because them white folks ain't gonna let you get no, or you know you're not gonna be able to do it here because you know the white man gonna keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now if some white man kept me down? How am I now directing over folks that look just like you guys in this room right now? How? What kept me down? What oppressed me? I work for myself from off the streets to where I am right now. You gonna sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory? Of this the reason why black folks can't get ahead because of white folks? Are you kidding me? This is what we come to now. I can't believe we even talking about this right now.
Pause.
The last thing I'm gonna say right here is
So we were very educated in the 60s and 70s. Very educated people. What happened in the 80s and 90s? Why weren't the sons and daughters of those people that were very educated, doctors and lawyers and civil rights activists and school teachers and articulate people like Malcolm X, very articulate, all these men, Medgar Evers, Charles Evers, his brother, what happened to they, because they grandkids now? Dumb as rocks, I'm sorry. Have no educational mind, don't care nothing about oppression, don't see clearly nothing. And you ask yourself, how did they happen? How is their parents so educated and now our people falling off to far where we are? If oppression or racism has nothing to do with anything that's ever happened to us in this country. These are the fools they put before because white folks like to hear them talk because they make them feel better about what they've done to our people. Now, 2 scriptures, I got to get them. Esther 4:13, because this is what the Negro thinks because he got an education, somehow he's safe from oppression. Oh, okay. Esther thought the same thing. Our foremother Esther thought the same thing. And she was way higher than you, Negro. She was married to the king. Someplace you'll never be. Read.
The book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 13.
Read.
Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape the king's house. Excuse me. Think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
Don't think because you married to the king you're going to get away with or you're going to escape the judgment that Haman has put out for all the Jews. He said kill all the Jews. When they find out you're a Jew, they're going to kill you. Go ahead.
For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
Go ahead.
But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed.
God gonna destroy y'all. You better help your people. When you got a position like a medical degree, influence young black men to go get medical degrees. But also tell them about the difficulties, because he make it seem like he just went to medical school and it wasn't hard for him. No, it was hard. Competing against all them Edomite students and all that stuff, it's hard. It ain't easy. You got to be the best of the best. Go ahead.
And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Watch this. Go to Daniel chapter 6. This is my last scripture. Daniel chapter 6, start at verse 1. Because these Negroes act like black people in the Bible didn't have high positions in the society. But what was their mindset? Read.
The book of Daniel chapter 6 and verse 1.
It
pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes.
Read kind of quick.
Which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents.
So he had 3 presidents over all the princes. Read.
Of whom Daniel was first.
And who was the first president he had?
Of whom Daniel was first.
Daniel was first because Daniel was better. Daniel rose to the top because he's the children of Israel, and we are great people.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage.
So Daniel was right under the king. Go ahead. This is Xerxes, by the way. Go ahead.
Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him.
Read.
And the king thought to set him over the whole realm.
He put Daniel over everything. Daniel was rich. Daniel had a position of power in Babylon, and then turned around and had the same power in Persia. Go ahead.
Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel.
You hear that? The oppressor, those that were not of his nation, sought to do what?
Find occasion against Daniel.
Read.
Concerning the kingdom. But they could not find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him.
Read.
Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God.
We're going to have to get him in sin. We're going to have to try to catch him in sin. That's the only way we can stop him, because the king loves him. Go ahead.
Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius.
This is Darius, but I said Xerxes. This is Darius. Excuse me, I misspoke. Read.
King Darius live forever.
Read.
All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions.
Go ahead.
Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not.
Go ahead.
Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree.
Go ahead.
Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he did aforetime.
Go ahead.
Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God.
Go ahead.
Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions?
So wait a minute. They knew that he prayed 3 times a day. That's why they went to the king, right, to try to get this decree passed. So when they did this, Daniel just doing what he do. He praying to his God. So they bust in on him while he was praying, because they knew what times he prayed, all to set him up. Daniel was above them. Daniel had power over them. Daniel was way higher than a Negro with a medical degree, or a Negro that's a chief of police, or a Negro that's a senator in the United States. He was higher than all of that. Second to the king only. And you're going to tell me these folks sought how to get Daniel thrown in the lion's den, but you Negroes think you're going to get by it today? And you way less than Daniel was? Get out of here, man. Get out of here. This is proof that it don't matter how high in the kingdom or how much status or how much money you got, because you are an Israelite, you are a target for everyone. Right. And the only person can save you is having God and Jesus Christ on your side. That's it. You Negroes better wake up. All right? So, with that being said, that's the end of the show. You got something you want to say? All right, I'll pray to the Most High. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed it. That's another edition of Escaping the Plantation 2.0.
We used to scream black power,
while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.